Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to my business educational platform. Today we are going to discuss a new course that is known as Production and Operation Management. So we will start from the chapter 1, that is Introduction to Operations Management. So here is the course outline that we will discuss in this chapter. That would be what is operation management, organizing to produce goods and services. We study operation management, what operation managers do, the heritage of operations management, operations in the service sector, difference between goods and services, growth of services, and exciting new trends in operations management. So we will also discuss the productivity challenge, how to measure the productivity and the service sector. So basically, what is the operation management? So when you think of the word operations, it seems like there's need to be some operation. So production is the creation of goods and services, whereas operation management is the set of activities that create value in the form of goods and services by transforming inputs into outputs. So the overall process from input to the output is known as the operations. You will provide certain inputs that will be transformed and it will provide some output. Take an example of tea. You produce tea. What you do, you provide the milk into the tea and some sort of sugar. So then it operates and there comes the production. So same example is taken into the organizations. Whenever we think of any input, it operates and it produces some output. So basically the operation management is the set of activities, all the activities that would be involved in order to create the tea will be the operations management. So organizing to produce goods and services, essential functions. So what are the key functional areas that include? There exists the marketing departments, there exists the HR department, there exists the finance departments. So same the process is with the productions and operations. What the marketers do, marketers generate demand, whereas the operations manager create the products. And what the finance and accountants do, they acquire the funds, invest the funds in order to get certain returns. So here is the organizational chart of the commercial bank. So here is the chart of banking industry. So there exist the commercial banks which provide the loans to the local customers or local residents of that area. So there exist the operations of teller, there exist the operations of cashier, there exist the operations of collector, there exist the operations of maintenance, there exist the operations of security. Then we have the finance. In finance, there exist the operations of investment, security, and real estate. Also, there exists the accounting and auditing as well. From marketing, there exists commercial, industrial, financial, personal, and mortgages. So why we study operations management? Operation management is one of three major functions of any organization. We want to study how people organize themselves for productive enterprise. We want to know how goods and services are produced. We want to understand what operation managers do. Operation management is such a costly part of an organization. So it is very costly as the processes take some certain cost. So what does the operation managers do? They perform the basic management functions which start from the planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So the functions the operation manager perform. So what are significant events in the operation management? There exist the three significant events. The first one was the cost focus, then second was the quality focus, and the third was the customized focus. In cost focus, there was the mass productions, and the scientific ways were used in order to produce more. The less focus was on quality. Then there exists the quality focus. So now the products are being evaluated on certain criteria based. So the focus went to the quality, not the production, but the quality. Then there came the customizations. Now everyone wants the product as per their requirement. So this is how the customization focus has been evolved. So how the operations management is contributed from? So it is contributed from the human factors, industrial engineering, management sciences, biological sciences, physical sciences, and information technology. So what are the challenges in the operations management? Initially there was the local focus, or the organizations were only focused into the home country. Now there exists the global focus, as the organizations are out, out outsourcing their organizations. They are offshoring their organizations to the other country. So initially the focus was the batch shipment, but now the productions are focused on just-in-time approach. So everyone needs the products in a quick and easy way. So take an example of fast food items. So every customer wants in the time, just in time. So low bid purchasing, the now it is being moved to supply chain partnering. Lengthy product development, now rapid product development and alliances. Standard products, now there is the mask and customization. Job specialization, now empowerment employees and teams in order to get certain functions so that the organization's goals could be maximized. So what are the goods and what are their characteristics? Anything that is tangible in nature, we can touch it, we can feel it, is known as the good. So they are intangible products, they are consistent product definition, and they are production usually separate from the consumption. So there is the separation between the production. On one side there will be the production, on the other side there will be the consumption. They can be inventoried, they can be stored, you can store them. And low customer interaction. So here you see in pictures we have an iron, television, a car. So these are the example of the products or goods. So then we have the services. Services are basically intangible in nature. They are intangible product produced and consumed at same times, often unique, high customer interaction, and consistent product definition, often knowledge-based, frequently dispersed. So productivity challenge. Productivity is the quality and the quantity of work which is being produced by certain sort of consumption or input. The objective is to improve productivity. The function of the operation management is to improve the productivity. So the economic system, we have the inputs which is produced from the labor or capital management, then transformation, and then we have the output. The US economic system transform input to output at about an annual of 2.5% increase in productivity per year. So the productivity of the US has been increased 2.5% every year. The productivity increase in the result of mix of capital, 38% of 2.5% labor and management. So here is what the productivity, how the productivity is calculated. It is calculated using units produced and input consumed. So how much units, number of units are produced by consuming certain sort of input. Measure of process improvement, represent output relative to input. Only through productivity increases can our standard of living improve. If the productivity will increase, then the living standard will increase. As the definition is of the productivity is the quality and the quantity of work is which is being produced by certain sort of consumption of input. So this was only single factor productivity, as we can use only one factor, like we can take as input human or labor or capital or technology. So we will use only one factor. There are certain set of factors of production like human capital or entrepreneurship. So we will use only one input. If we are using the multiple factor, then that is known as multiple factor productivity as input. So they include labor, material, energy, capital, miscellaneous, as there are multiple factors which are being used in order to produce certain set of product, also known as total factor productivity. Output and inputs are often expressed in dollars. So output and inputs are often expressed in dollars. Measuring the service productivity is a difficult task to measure, as we cannot see the services or we cannot touch the services, so it becomes very hard to measure the services. In productive sense, we can easily measure it by dividing output by inputs, but if we are using the services, it becomes very hard to measure the productivity, as typically labor intensive, frequently focused on unique individual attributes are desired, often an intellectual task performed by professionals, often difficult to mechanize, often difficult to evaluate or for quality. So that was all about today's lecture. I hope you understood the basic concepts regarding operation management. Tell me.